everyone. Another episode of the Unknown Pro coming at you. This time we've got the homie, Jailyn Ford.
What's up, guys? Thanks.
Yeah, man, I'm so excited to talk to you. I know I say this to you probably every time I see you, but you're one of my favorite people in existence. And that includes everybody that I know and all celebrities that I don't know too. So I just want to clear that.
You're hyping me up. Don't give me a big head.
I'm just saying, you have to know that. But what's up, Jay? I know you just got back from Japan. Was it Thursday?
Yes. So I'm in like a week and a half of my quarantine right now. So.
Oh yeah, you have to be in quarantine coming back.
Pretty much, yep. It's easy when you live. No.
That's fair. So you're not, are you just like, okay, I can't wait for this 2 weeks to be up, or are you just really enjoying your quarantine?
Very much enjoying it. It almost feels like normal life, actually, but
yeah, That's what I've told people too. Like, it kind of almost feels like the regular off season, but normally you're in Japan, so that's got to be just different experience for April. No, it's May. Oh my God, it's May.
It snuck up on you. Like March last. April went by so fast. You're like, what the heck's May?
I know. I definitely feel like April didn't happen. That's weird. So what, just before we get into talking about stuff, you're playing in Japan, but you just had to come home, but you came home kind of later than all the other foreigners. Why was that?
Well, I mean, with everything shut down here in the States and, no gyms, no kind of public access to anything, I thought it was better, I guess, for me, like training wise, just to stay in Japan and still be able to go out and go to restaurants, go hang out with my team, get practice in mostly, just to prepare for like and avoid the whole pretty much isolation, social distancing. Because I feel like once I got back here, now everything's kind of opening back up. So
it's kind of slowly starting to, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I kind of thought that myself, and then I also thought, oh my God, did she get stuck out there?
Almost. They kept canceling all my flights, but
wow.
Yeah.
Wow, you made it back to the States, and here you are. Oh my gosh, still a little bit jet lagged.
Very much jet lagged.
What's the time difference from your house? Is it 13 hours?
Yes.
13 hours. Yeah. That's not an easy feat when your brain's like, oh no, it's 3 a.m. right now.
Exactly. Like mid-sleep.
Yeah. I love it. So before we get started, I have to just let everybody know about your unbelievable bio. So if you don't mind, sit back, relax, because I'm going to be reading for a while. Okay. So man, I really do hype you up, but I feel like it's necessary.
No, I need to pay you for this.
No. Just pay me in your friendship. Okay. Just be my friend forever. So you graduated from James Madison University in 2016, where you were the first All-American in softball program history, which, wow. And then you were an All-American thrice, which, first of all, doing it once at a program that had never had one, to then be like, okay, like 3 times, that sounds good. For the conference, you were 2-time player of the year, and you were pitcher of the year 1 year. Your name is just all over the record books in both pitching and hitting, which, God, I could just feel like, anyway, you're just so cool. And then after you graduated, you were drafted to the Akron Racers in 2016, played with them for 2 seasons, where that was just fortunate for me that I got to meet you and then force you to be my friend forever and ever. And since then, you've been with the Pride since 2018 season, and you are in your 4th season with Honda in the Japanese Pro League. So that's pretty much wraps up your awesome bio. What do you think when you hear those things, that like all this stuff that you've done? What does it make you feel? What does it make you think?
I don't know. At this point, I don't know. Just crazy. I feel like it was a lot of hard work, but it doesn't seem real either. Just like, to me, they're just stats. But
yeah,
like, oh, you were this, and this. I'm like, just kind of a day at the office, I guess. But
yeah, I pitched the ball and I swung the bat.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's so cool. I want to know, the creation of Jailyn Ford. Like, what were you like growing up playing sports, did you have these big, huge dreams? Did you just go out another day at the office kind of thing? How did you get to that point?
I think that's a tough question.
I know. Like, tell me about everything.
Tell me why you are the way you are. No, I think like I'm just competitive in general, and so I always liked sports growing up, and like I was better at softball than I was at all the other ones. I loved basketball. Basketball was like my number one, but yeah, just loved it. Loved competing, and wanted to go. Like at the time, I didn't know how competitive college softball was, so I was like, oh, like I'd like to go to college and play, but that wasn't like a lot of kids now. You talk to them, and that's their goal. They're like, I want to play in college, but like I want to play.
Right.
And so even with the pro league, like I didn't really know about a pro league at the time or overseas. And so I feel like each step of the way was just kind of like an increment, or like learning from college. Now I'm learning about the pro league, and from the pro league now I'm learning about overseas, and just to be competitive for me.
That's so freaking cool, where you're just like, okay, I like this and I want to do this. So how can I keep doing this? What are the different ways that I can, it seems like doors just kind of opening along the way.
Very much so. And now I'm like trying to figure out, or like, how can I get paid for it? It's something I love to do, and it's like a child's game. People call it a child's game. So like, how can I get paid to do it, and do it for as long as possible and not have to work a normal day job? So.
Right. God, that's cool, man. Did you play basketball in high school or anything, or did you just enjoyed it as kind of a hobby?
No, I played it all throughout high school. We actually ended up going to Final Four, I think, my junior year. So we were pretty good.
Right.
I had nothing to do with that. I just passed the ball around, but I still very much enjoyed it.
But so I tell people I was not very good at basketball, and that I would shoot the ball in the wrong the wrong team's hoop and miss it. So that's about where I was.
About the same then, yeah.
I think that's really cool, because it kind of just grew from enjoying what you were doing, and look at what, like, I think that I feel like I can relate to you in so many ways, that we have so many similarities, because I feel like loving something, you put in the work because you love it, and then being good at it is just kind of a byproduct of enjoying it, right?
Yes, completely agree.
Yeah, like you're putting your time into it, so good things are going to happen because you enjoy it.
Exactly. Yes. I think that's like, for me at least now, it's the building block to everything, is like, if I enjoy it and I'm willing, then I'm going to be willing to put in the work for it, and then I'm going to hopefully be good at it. And maybe it doesn't just relate to softball, but it relates to anything you do. If you enjoy it, you're willing to be better and be good at it.
Yeah, I think that that's so true, and in anything too, like you said. So do you feel like would you classify yourself as someone who just is a hard worker in general? Because when I see you, I think you work so hard. So is that something that you were taught from a young age? Like, do you feel like, yeah, I think I work harder than the average person?
I wouldn't say, I don't know if it was taught, because a lot of people always ask me, thank you for saying I'm a hard worker.
Oh yeah, duh.
But a lot of people ask me, like, oh, did you grow up on a farm? Did you have chores growing up? Like, or now they ask if I'm in the Army, but
whoa.
Yeah. But no, it's just, I like doing hard work. I like manual labor, I guess, in a sense. Like, I think of softball.
It is. Yeah.
So like, I like putting in the hard work. I like doing stuff. I like staying active. So I think that's kind of helped me in the long run. Like, even now I'm home, I'm like trying to ask my dad, I'm like, do we need to do yard work? Do we need to mulch? Do we need to dig up stuff? Like, so for me, it's like, it's fun to do. It's not like a chore. It's not hard work.
I think that that's a really good way to put it, because, things that you love doing, like, yeah, okay, it might be hard and backbreaking to go out and dig or do whatever that kind of stuff is, but the hard work, it's hard work by definition, but it's easy to do because you like doing it.
Exactly. And then like, you see the end product and you're like, okay,
sweet.
Like, it was worth it. Like, I might be a little bit sore, I might be a little bit in pain, but like, now we have a yard, now we have flowers, now we're successful in softball, or like now we're able to strike people out, whatever. But
Yeah,
you know what I
that's
mean?
awesome. I think
Yeah.
gosh, I think that's so cool. And because it can be, it's, I think hard work it's easy to do and it's easy not to do. It's one of those things where it's like, I don't need to do this. I don't need to go out and, pitch 100 curveballs, 100 right. It's easy not to do that. But
Right.
for you, it's like, no, it's also easy to do that because I want to, and I know what happens when I do that.
Yes, absolutely, completely agreed.
It kind of, when you have your mindset like that, it almost makes it like, oh, it's not so scary to go out and put myself through something challenging.
No, I think it's rewarding almost. It's part of the journey too, so
Yeah,
like it
that's so cool. So where did James Madison come in? All of this, you said I want to go and by the way, I was going to tell you, when I was in 8th grade, I remember coming home from school. I said, Mom, Dad, I don't want to go to college because I don't want to do all the homework. So when you said that about not really, just pretty much wanting to play and then not,
yeah.
but how kids now are like, no, this is my top school. And then these are my 5 backups. And then just in case, here's my other, I'm like, I didn't want to do all the homework. That's what I was thinking at that age.
Still at this age, I'm like, no.
So where did James Madison start to come into the picture?
They were actually one of my last options. Like, I think I might have been in my junior year. I had just entered my junior year, and they were like trying to show a little bit of interest in like the recruitment process. Like I had been in the recruiting process for a couple of years, I think, at that point. I just hadn't made a decision, hadn't found the right place, and they had popped up and sent me an email, and I was like, oh, like they're close. I never really had given them a thought. I was like, well, I'll go to camp, I'll see what it's like. And then from there on out, it was just like, I loved every aspect of it. And they're one of my top 2 schools, and
Wow.
like a no-brainer. Everybody was pushing me towards like one of our other local schools, like a bigger D1 and ACC. But for me, it was just the atmosphere of JMU. So
That's so, and did you know going into like their offer and you visiting, did you know that you were going to come in and be such an impact player? Or did they paint that picture for you? Or did they just say, we want you, you'll have a chance to start as a freshman? How was that?
yeah, I think it was pretty much just like, you're going to have an opportunity to like start. There was no guarantees. There wasn't anything like that. For me, it was all in my mind. It was, I had seen them play. I'd seen some of their camps, and I was like, I think I can play here. I think I can be competitive here. And I think I can make a difference in the program. And for me, that was one of the biggest kind of decision makers too, was, yes, I love the atmosphere, but was it a program where I could go in and start maybe as a freshman and also, make it better than what it was? Because at the time they were pretty low profile. I'm not even sure if they had a 500, winning average. So like that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to go in and kind of change it and make it better. So.
And you seriously have done that. When I was looking through the record books, I think it's interesting to see that you can tell that a program has gotten better, especially because you see your name scattered in all these different records, whether like top 5 of so many different things. And then you see current players that are right around you too. And I think that says you left that program to where they're now attracting stronger players. People are more interested in going there than maybe they were before. And I think that you accomplished that goal for sure. Do you feel like you have?
I'd hope so. I think so. But for me, like, it wasn't just about those 4 years that I had played for JMU. It was kind of like you said, creating an impact or a legacy that would last way longer. So to see them still be successful, and even last year still like making it to super regionals and making it to regionals and doing all the things that we did, it's like, I'm still proud. I'm very like, I love to see it. I'm happy that they have come from, 200 fans my freshman year to 4,000, in regionals. So I think it's pretty cool.
I think that's great. And it seems like you got everything you wanted to out of a college. And You know, I remember watching you on when you guys played in the regionals and super regionals, and just it seemed like a fun team.
Oh, it was a blast. I mean, I still think about that team all the time. And that year, one of my favorite experiences for sure. Just the team chemistry, the camaraderie, the friendships, and I think it's lasted way longer than just that year as well. So I feel
Yeah.
like that's kind of what you take out of it from like a season or from a team anyways, is, you know, stuff that lasts past softball.
Yeah, that is true. And I think of people I talk to sometimes on a daily basis. I'm like, wow, I went to college with this person. This is, a forever friend kind of thing. And that, obviously you'll remember if you win a national championship that you'll take that with you forever. But, not all of us get to do that.
No, unfortunately.
Right.
Like going to weddings or whatever. I'm sure you've been invited to plenty, and you're like, no, this is cool. I wouldn't have met you if I had the LMU, JMU, or wherever, and created that on. So
absolutely. And I want to know how you feel about the phrase, because I've known people have said this to me, because like we said, the situations are similar, of big fish, little pond kind of thing. Do you feel like that? Because when somebody says that to me, like, I never felt like that at LMU. I never felt like I'm this big time player and this is kind of beneath me and I'm doing them a favor almost. That's how it comes across to me. What do you think? Is that how you feel too?
I would agree with what you said. Like, you never really felt that, it was always, we're always on the same playing field as everyone. There's no top dog, there's no big dog, there's no, everyone's part of that community, whether it's not just softball, whatever team you play on. I don't any of our players at JMU were like that. So.
Yeah, because it's where it's where you belonged, it's where you fit in the best, it's where you could grow the best. So it's obviously in hindsight you look at it and look at what you've done in the professional world and how successful you've been outside of college, and of course in hindsight you say, well, wow, like, should she have gone somewhere bigger or whatever, but would you have all that without JMU?
Exactly.
You can't know. So I think that's something that obviously how passionate I am talking about mid-majors and talking about smaller schools and stuff. But I think it's about changing the mindset of it, where instead of like, wow, you're such a successful pro player in spite of going to JMU. And you're like, wait, no, it's because I went to this school, like I found my perfect fit where I could thrive, and I don't know. I think that it's all about a mindset.
I completely agree. And I think there's always kind of been that stigma around the mid-major programs, or, not even just mid-major, D1, D2, D3, JUCO, wherever, NAI, that, just because you went there, you're not going to end up being successful, or you're not going to get to a certain point in your life, or you can't make it to the pro leagues or play overseas. But I mean, we've both found a place that like supported what we wanted, had probably what we wanted academically, coach wise. I mean, I feel like all of those aspects go into that decision. And would it have been cool to compete at like an ACC or SEC program? Yeah, probably. Would I, like you said, would I be here where I am today? Probably not. I could also 4 years and come out with a degree and be working, bagging groceries or wherever. I don't know.
Doing something.
Yeah. Something other than softball. But
right.
I think also gave us like a platform to put our schools on a map, and maybe that's how we also got a little bit of notice.
Yeah. I don't know if you followed along with the Athletes Unlimited, but they just recently, of the signed girls, they posted a picture of the United States, and they put all the schools' logos on the map and said, oh, this is where and I saw LMU on there, and I thought, wow, like I just felt like this is just so heartwarming, because like you said, give them some attention, hopefully be able to almost market for the school in a way.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that's to be able to see that. And
It was so weird. Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah. Look how many, what's that? Where, oh, that's in California. I like California, you know, something like that.
I'm sure you do a lot, like, what does LMU stand for? What does JMU stand for? And like, but being able to see their logo up one with whatever, all the other Division I schools, I mean, we're all right there. We're all playing for the same stuff.
Yeah.
We're all.
That's so true. We all put our pants on for the most part the same way.
Yeah, 2 feet at a time, right? You jump into them?
I jump into mine.
Yeah, same. Okay.
I knew it. So were you like, did you know what you were capable of when you went into college? Like, you look at your, you know, accomplishments in college, and that's unreal. You know, a 3-time All-American, you're player of the year or pitcher of the year almost every year. Did you know that you had that in you, or is it, like we said before, just kind of happened because of everything else?
I would say no. That I found a good coach with a good, like, good teammates that helped push me to better myself. And like, going into college, I had been used to, you know, being pretty successful, I guess, throughout high school, or and it wasn't very difficult. But then you get to college, and now you're competing for positions, and not just pitcher. Now you're competing for first base. But so, you know, I think having other players that are really good beside you had pushed me to be competitive, and as well as just, you know, a coaching staff that believed in you and knew what you had in you. And so that, I think, a combination of that and the kind of hard work part, you know, I do like putting in the hard work now. And I think both of them kind of together to get me, I guess, through college and be successful in college. And now to have to do all that stuff on my own without, you know, like a coach. So. Yeah,
and I mean, and there it is, you know, like, who you surround yourself with and what you do, that can translate off the field too, you know, like, good things happen, you know, when you're surrounded by good things.
Yes.
So yes. I think that's great. And this is a good transition into talking about playing in Japan, because talking about hard work, talking about putting stuff in there, this is your 4th season over there. How do you feel like you've grown as a player? What do you feel like you've learned in going over there and playing 4 years?
Well, I mean, like you said, it's a good segment, because you do learn a whole new level of hard work. I mean, I was doing everything I could, you know, in the pro league, but then you go to Japan and they're practicing 7 hours a day. They're taking just hundreds of ground ball or buckets, just endless ground balls, endless front toss. And it's like, okay, like, now I realize, you know, it's not just about being efficient and getting in, you know, a 30-minute bullpen. Now I can go throw to my teammates. Now I can go do this and this, and or run or lift and condition, and, you know, do all the stuff that they do. But and they do that all on top of a normal job in the morning.
Right.
So,
good God.
Yeah. So I think they definitely put a new definition on it. Make me want to work harder for them. That's for sure.
That's awesome. I think it's, now that I'm not there, like, I feel like, oh my God, I worked so hard, because, you know, it's your surroundings. And now I'm like, oh my God, I haven't taken 100,000 ground balls today. How do I get used to this again? You know, but
Yes.
How was it going there your first year? You know, you probably doe-eyed, like, oh my God, compared to now. What do you remember what you felt like your first, you know, couple weeks at practice?
No, honestly. Because I felt like I was in a different world. Like, it was just
really?
I remember the first thing I remember from Japan, besides Stamy and I got lost like our second week there. But other than that, I remember walking down the street with her one day, and we were just like, what are we doing? Like, we're in Japan, we're playing softball. Yeah. Like, it's been a month at that point, and we're like, what are we doing? It was completely different. Like, never in my life would I think I'd be, you know, playing 2,000 miles away from home, in a culture that I couldn't understand their language. And but I mean, going from that, I was like, okay, I'm just going to play here a year or two and maybe go and do a normal job. But I've loved it so much that those first, I guess, month didn't really faze me, being all doe-eyed and scared, but
yeah,
actually kind of fueled a new fire in me and a new passion for the game that now
wow.
I'm able to play a little longer.
Yeah, heck yeah. That, oh my God, that's so cool. Cause I mean, just when you think that you're okay, this is as much as this is what I am, this is what I'm going to be. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, like I can do more. I can feel more. That I didn't know that like happened with you. That's so cool.
No, absolutely. And I think, like, like you said, I didn't even realize that it could happen. I was like, okay, after I got out of college, I was very passionate, and you get into the pro leagues, and it's a little different than college, I'm sure. But then I got to Japan, and just to see how hard they work and how passionate they are for their, 22 games a year.
Right.
Like, to get fired up for each one of those games is like, it was a different feeling, and it's pretty cool to feel.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Seriously. It definitely, what's funny is, and I feel bad for saying this where it's recorded and people are going to see this, but it makes it hard when the Olympics come around to like not root for Japan. Obviously, if anybody is watching, I'm going to root for America, but
Same.
But right. But you know what I mean? Where you look and you're just like, they're so just genuinely hardworking. They're so supportive. I mean, sometimes if you boot a ball, maybe this isn't you, but my team, they'd be like, oh,
yes.
like, hey, guys, I'm going to take today off of ground balls. But it's just, I think that's so genuine of you to want to work harder for, like, as a player for them, and I'm sure that's translated into now you with the pride, where you're even a more sense of teamwork and wanting to do your best, obviously for you, but for those you're surrounding yourself with.
Right. Absolutely. And I think it's all about, one, you want to better yourself, but two, like, you want to better your team, because if you're not out there, somebody else has to perform as well. So, whatever that takes, if that means, I'm throwing an hour of BP to our hitters, that's fine. If I'm taking 100 hours of ground balls or whatever our team needs, and whatever, maybe I probably need to work a little bit more on PFPs, but either way.
That's great. That you're so, that's something I feel like before really getting to know you, I knew right away that you're just a good teammate. I also remember when we would throw live on Akron, and I remember popping up there. You were the only one out there, and you were pitching, and I popped up into foul territory on the first baseline, and you were just like ran over and caught it and kind of like ran back. And I'm like, damn, I'm out. No first baseman, no, like, the catcher didn't move, and you're like, I got it. But for people who haven't played with you, I think that I feel so lucky that I've been able to play with you, that I'm trying to continue to play with you in any way, shape, or form. But I know, I wish. But you're such a good teammate, and you're the type of pitcher that I want to play behind, because my favorite thing about you, okay, well, I have a lot, but one of my favorite things about you is if somebody genuinely gets a base hit up the middle off of you, doesn't happen a lot, but if they do, every time because you feel like you should have fielded it, even if it's not even like, even if it's like to my forehand at shortstop and it's not even near you, you're like, I should have had it, And I think that is the coolest thing, because even if it's stuff that, like, you don't need to take responsibility for, you say, my bad, guys, like, I got it. And we're like, what? The ball was to right field. You couldn't have caught that, So do you know where that comes from? Is that just like your competitiveness, or is that like the way you are with your siblings? Like, what is it about that accountability that you have as a player of, I got this for you guys? Like, where does that come from?
I don't know.
So sorry.
I don't know. No. I like the challenging questions, but it's stuff I haven't thought about. I mean, maybe, like, I did grow up with 3 brothers, so I feel like stuff happened. Maybe it was mostly my fault, or I just had to take that responsibility then. But it's also like, I want to be a good teammate, and I want to be the person that like people can rely on. So I feel like I have a job to do out there, and if ball gets hit in the play, that's me not doing my job. Like, I'm supposed to be striking people out. You guys are just my backup, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, I want to be that person that can be relied on in any situation, and then yeah, pretty much. So I feel bad when other people have to do it. So
No.
you guys days or anything, try to take the pressure off you guys too.
Oh, they're just like, I just hope that everybody knows why I love you so much, and just these answers, because it's so Jailyn. Like, you're so, if everybody was like you, there would never ever be any like team fighting or arguments among, you know what I mean? Like,
Maybe not.
I know, right? You never know. But I just think that's so cool. Gosh, every time a ground, I'm just should have had that. Like, it was 6 feet.
And I'm realizing that too, because I feel like some people think I'm an angry person, and it's not that. It's
no
at all. I needed to get it. That was me.
I love that. But, I didn't think of it like that, where if somebody's playing against you and they don't know you, they probably think, man, she's intense or something, something like that.
Yeah. Like, I get that I'm intimidating a lot, and I feel like maybe I am if you play against me, but it's like I'm just very, very competitive.
Oh yeah, I would describe you like a bulldog. Like, you're out there on the mound, you're out there to get the job done, no matter how it has to get done. You're up for the challenge, and you will get it done. And if you don't, like, that person was lucky, kind of thing.
Yes, absolutely.
That
mindset I try to have.
And it comes off. It comes across. I mean, I wish I would have been able to play against you before I knew you, because then I would have that kind of view. But because all I know is this is a great teammate who wants the team to win, and she wants everybody to do well. But now thinking about it, if I'm playing, I mean, shoot, I do play against you, and I think, oh my God, like,
oh, what? That's how I feel. You. Please don't take me.
There's some friends, like pitcher friends, where when you get in the box, like they might wink or whatever. But when I get in the box against you, it's like, nope, I don't know this person. Like, that's Team Toda and that's Team Honda. Like, that's all we got as far as recognition. It's like, all right, Sam, here we go.
I even look, like, if I play against you guys, like somebody I know, you or whoever, at least in Japan, I cannot look at you guys. I'm like,
I know.
This is another Japanese player. She's just tall and blonde.
Yeah, they just got her hair done weird or something. Yeah. Yeah, there it is. That's something too that I feel like I'm the worst at, because I'll be over there like, is she looking at me? I want to say, like, hey, what's going on? Or if someone else says, hey, that's why playing in Japan and being the DP for me is a very safe zone, because if I'm playing first or third or short, I am such a distraction. Because if you get on first base, like, hey, like, what's going on? How you doing? Oh my God, what are you eating after this game? Like, Sam, the pitch is coming. Okay, here we go. What are you gonna do?
And you think that's different than in like the States, playing in the States? I feel like you're like chatty and whatever.
Oh yeah, no, I got, like in school, I got the comments on the report card of like, distraction to other students, talkative, like, shut up, Sam, kind of comments. So yeah, that's been pretty consistent through my whole life. But
I think that's a thing. You're outgoing.
Thank you. I don't think the teachers thought of it that way, but now we just spin it that way. But I feel like, on the same topic of you being a good teammate, your like attitude and your mood, I would say, is always very consistent. Is that just softball? Like, are you an emotional roller coaster off the field, or do you feel like your life is just pretty much like, this is Jay?
You might have to ask other people that question, but for me, I feel very even keel. There are times when you get a little bit more emotional or whatever, but at least in college I was all over the place, and I feel like following me, and I realized I looked a little psycho probably, but no, now I'm just like, I got to stay here this whole time, whether I'm playing, whether I'm off the field, but you might have to ask somebody else for sure.
I just realized Ask Sammy.
Yeah, whoever. Just I need a second opinion on that one.
I'm gonna go do some research after this and be like, hey, is Jay off her freaking rocker or what?
If they say yes, let me know, because
I will. And I'll tell you exactly. I'll just screenshot and be like, this person said you're crazy.
Bitch.
God, I think it's cool to see, you know, especially on the field, you know, because we've all played with teammates who, if they're having a bad game, they're not approachable, or if they're having a really good game, they're your best friend. And I think it's really cool, especially in your position where you're strictly just a pitcher now, like not hitting so much anymore. I did see you take some hacks last year against Monica.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and they were great. I was watching. I was like, yeah, like this, you were right there.
I was on time. I don't know where the ball was, but I was at least on time.
You were, and that was just impressive because I know you hadn't had any at-bats in a while, but especially as just a pitcher, you have already so much pressure on you to get the job done, to allow less runs than the team can score. So I think it's really cool to see that you're very in control of your the only thing you'll see is maybe if you get fired up, or, you know, my favorite thing about you is, God, I've said that like 7 times already in this conversation. My favorite thing about you is this. And now it's oh God. Is so, especially in Japan, but when umpires are kind of not giving the best zone, I've only seen you maybe like once let it show that you were frustrated, which I think is just a really cool thing to see somebody be so under control, so just whatever, like next pitch. Well, all right, cool, this happened, let's go, like bear down kind of thing. So I don't know if you feel that way about yourself or if or what, but it's cool to see.
Yeah, I feel like at times, like, I do get a little bit more involved with it, especially if, you know, you haven't been getting a call all game, or if you know the other team's getting a little bit better calls. And in my first year in Japan, and maybe again that was kind of coming off my psycho college career, but you know, in Japan too, like, they don't understand me, so I can say a little bit more, gesture a little bit more, and they shrug it off that you're an American. But no, in the States, I feel like I'm a little bit more even keel. But yeah, if I'm upset with something that's pretty obvious, I'll like let an umpire know, and I know that's probably not the best thing, but pretty rare.
It is. I can't believe I've actually seen it happen for real, because it is so rare. I was like, oh, Jay, okay.
Get a little bit fired up every now and then, but you got to realize too, like, a pitcher, you're the center of attention in a sense. So like, you have to keep that even keel personality, yes, zen or whatever, the whole time. But I know of people that do like when they see pitchers get fired up, you know, so I can see is
absolutely and I just, you know, I just love the crap out of you, man. I don't even know what to say. I feel like this whole conversation is just me being like, you know what, I'm asking you all these questions, but ultimately the point of this is so that you know, and that whoever is watching knows that, like, I just think you're so cool.
Thank you.
I have a video. I was going through my pictures on my phone, and I have a video of you, and you're sitting there like this, and you have a donut, and you like took a bite of it, and you winked, and it was just like a 4-second. You remember that? It was like a 4-second video, and I was like, this is absolute gold. This is Jailyn. This is Jailyn Ford. And your hair was down, which I don't know why, but made it even better.
I can only imagine.
I'll send it to you. Oh, well, Jay, I think for me, like, because you and I have had conversations, but for me, I just feel like you're so good, and I feel like you're still almost kind of like a hidden gem, and I just feel like that's crazy. Do you ever feel like that?
Yeah, kind of. And I think I kind of like it, though. I mean,
okay,
nobody really has, that might sound bad, but like, nobody really has those expectations out of you. If you don't, you know, you've flown under the radar for so long, and you don't have this big name to you. Now you don't have all that additional pressure added. So you can kind of go out there and relax and just play and have fun with it. But
that's,
yeah, enjoy it, and it can be hard at times. I think we've talked about it before too, where you might not get as much respect from certain people or coaches or
Yeah.
staff or whoever, or players probably aren't going to know who I am if I show up at a camp or a clinic,
Yeah.
out of state. Like, doesn't faze me. I like it that way.
That's such a cool way of putting it, is that, like, I can just go out and I can be Jailyn. I can go out and be Jay, just do my thing, and it's almost like nobody else is going to try to make you into something different, because that does happen, that if you go, in a different realm or in a different, there's a chance of being, in danger of trying to fit a mold. And so I think that's a great way to put it. I did not think of it like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fun. I feel like I had something else to add to that, but no.
Yeah, but no, that's
cool.
It's gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's something I think people, if they've had conversations with you, but if they haven't, to know that you're someone who can always find a silver lining. You're really good at spinning something in a positive way. And it always makes me feel like, you know what, I can look at something differently. Like for example, not being invited to Olympic tryouts, right? That's something I think about. I remember seeing you in Japan, and I remember telling you, like, hey, I'm really mad for you, that
right.
because obviously I'm not on the committee or a coach or whatever, so my opinion means nothing. But I fully think that you are a good enough player to go out there and just have a shot. You know what I mean? But
Right.
But the way that you just put it, and the way that you think about things and are able to spin things, is that, hey man, like, look at what I get to do. I'm me. I'm doing. You're in Japan and you love it, and you get to do so many amazing things. Why not look at that? And
Yes.
I think you look at everything that way.
I mean, I try to. It's, for me, you can't really go through with like the negative mindset or be bitter about some of the stuff. You just got to make the most out of it. So, if you don't get invited to the tryouts, well, yeah, like you said, you get to play in Japan or you get to play overseas. And would it be cool to represent your home country? Absolutely. But there are other great out there that are maybe more fitted or better for the job, and
right,
they not ever going to take anything away from them, and still going to cheer for them and Japan.
Right. They could be first and Japan could be second. Well, there we go.
It's always a good game, good gold medal match.
Yes, that's great, Jay. I think that it's just really, sometimes it's hard to be in that mindset. Sometimes it's hard to try to think about something in a positive way when really you want to be upset or you want to be hurt about it, but I'm sure that there are times where, like you said, what, maybe I'll spend a couple minutes and be upset about something, but what is that really, what's that really doing? Let's snap out of it. Let's look at what we really have anyway. And
exactly.
And it doesn't take away, that's the thing too, is it doesn't take away from the people who do get those opportunities, or who, everybody is in the place that they need to be and that they're meant to be in. Absolutely.
I couldn't agree more with that.
That's awesome. Jay,
can't go through party or nothing, that's for sure.
Right. And you're better for it, I think, when you sometimes you just got to let stuff go and focus on the present, focus on the now, because it really will just weigh you down if you're just continue to think about what didn't happen, what coulda, shoulda, woulda,
Right. Just thankful for the opportunities that we've had or gotten to or will have, I guess, too. So
yeah, very true. Dude, Jay, I obviously, if you haven't gotten this vibe yet, I love the crap out of you. And
I love it. Glad it's mutual. I was scared for a little bit. That was just me, but
oh God, no. If they made Jailyn Ford posters, I'd have one on my wall. So that's where I'm at. But I just thank you for talking about everything and letting me ask you different, hard, easy questions. But I just think that it's so important for people to know how cool you are and how great of a person you are, and you're the coolest. So,
well, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for using your platform for good. I love to see it. Can't wait to see myself too.
Yeah. Thanks, Jay. You're the best. And I hope I get to see you in person very, very soon, whatever country that might be in. Because that would be a real wherever it is. I don't care. I'll be there.
I don't
care.
You're there, I'm there.
Exactly. That's how we should live this friendship by, is if you're there, I'm there.
Yes.
But also, I've had a really hard time with these interviews with figuring out how to end them. So I'm just going to put that out there right now that I don't know how to say goodbye. So I'm just going to, like, if you want to say, like, hey, bye, then I'm just going to hit end because I don't know how to end it.
Well, I will say happy Cinco de Mayo, and then you can hit end, I guess.
Perfect. Happy Cinco de Mayo, and have a good rest of your day.